Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Above the Rim Rundown, where we run down all things NBA. I am one of your hosts, Memo, and right beside me, I've got Hoops. How you doing?
What's going on, man? Overall, been doing pretty okay, just getting through in life, and yeah, um, pretty much just that. How you doing?
Mostly well. I think I mentioned last week that this week I had like all week off, so I got to relax mostly. Um, but I don't know if you could tell by my voice, but I'm like recovering from a cold. I've had it like all week, and it's been super annoying. So if I sound weird, that's why. I apologize. But yeah, overall, it's been good. Thanksgiving was great on my end. My sister Ruby, she's the one that made the turkey. This is her second year doing it, and it was pretty good. It was like, yeah, I had a leg better than Disney. I'll say that, better than Disney. So shout out to my sister. How was your Thanksgiving?
It was good. Usually we don't really go to all out with per se cooking feast for Thanksgiving, but this year was a little bit different. My mom ended up also cooking a turkey this year and turned out pretty decent. Um, and adding in some other Thanksgiving dishes like the stuffing, sweet potato, mashed potatoes. It was good for sure. We don't do it often, but this year was a little bit different, and I say it was a good one. Um, I guess good to be a little bit more formal celebrating the holiday. So yeah, overall it was good.
Was it just the three of you, or did you have family over?
Just the three of us.
All right, that's nice. That's nice. We had my two aunts and the twin cousins come over for our dinner. It was good for sure. Did you do any
Nice.
shopping the next day on Black Friday?
No, I didn't. I actually had to work the next day, so there's
Oh,
that also. Um,
that sucks.
yeah, yeah.
But
But
oh,
even if I
go
even
ahead.
if I didn't though, I don't know if there was really anything that I really was gonna shop for because I just couldn't really think of anything per se. Um, but yeah, were you gonna say something just
No,
now?
I was just gonna say it's obviously Black Friday's like slightly overrated because there's always sales going on around the holidays anyways. All weekend is there's gonna be sales. There's Cyber Monday as well. Um, and like the discounts aren't crazy for a lot of stores. Some stores it's like for sure worth it, but others not really. It's just like just a few percentage off or something. Nothing crazy.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Black Friday now isn't really what the same as it used to be because the promotions are just getting like a lot lower. And so it's like not even that crazy of a promotion that sometimes you just think to yourself, is it even worth it going through the trouble? Um, yeah. I think that the old days when people were actually trying to go like fight for the items was the better times. Like obviously, getting in fights isn't a good thing, but people being passionate to get that good deal, those were the times that I think we can all say we miss, as opposed to those whack ass, barely even from um, percentages off sales that they call nowadays. Um, yeah, but did you end up doing any Black Friday shopping?
Yeah, like money's tight, so I mostly focus on just trying to get like gifts over with. And since there's like a lot of people I have to shop for, I only got like half the list done. Which includes you. I got your gift done already. Uh,
Oh, thank you.
I was able to take
Um,
advantage of one sale, so hopefully it doesn't take too long to come on over. But I'm excited to show you part of your gift, and hopefully we'll able to share it on stream as well or on recording. I'll at least share it because I think it'll be cool. It'll be cool.
all right, yeah. I suppose we can do that when the time comes
Ye-
closer to
Yeah,
holiday
it's
season.
basketball related, so it's not like something random.
Okay, bet. Yeah, maybe we can do that. We can show our gift exchange on cam the week of or like week before Christmas, maybe.
Yeah, depending on
Uh,
when we record. Last year we
yeah,
skipped like the Christmas week.
yeah.
Um,
Might have to be the case again this year, depending on like family arrangements, but we'll see.
yeah, which is
Um,
definitely very reasonable, obviously.
yeah, definitely. But yeah, we'll figure something out there, and yeah, should be fun.
Yeah. What else should be fun is this episode right here because not only are we going through the standings in the W and L list, but we're doing some NBA Cup talk. We haven't really been talking about the Cup like at all, which is kind of weird since we've been doing a good job throughout the years talking about the Cubs, making our predictions, stuff like that. But this year, we're doing things a little different. We're doing a NBA Cup draft. We're drafting our teams to see which one of us will have to do a punishment depending on who ends up winning the NBA Cup. So we'll do that at the end. But we, of course, have to start off with the NBA standings. I believe, is it my turn to do the West Coast, the best coast, or is it your turn?
I kind of forgot,
I
honestly, but
forgot to.
I think it might have been your turn.
I feel
So
like
we'll
it
just, you
is.
can do it, honestly.
Okay, cool. Cool. So at number 15, we've got the Pelicans with a 3-17 record. At number 14, the Mavericks with a 5-15 record. Kings at 13 with a 5-15 record. Clippers at 12 with a 5-14 record. Jazz at 11 with a 6-12 record. Grizzlies at 10 with an 8-12 record. Trailblazers at 9 with an 8-11 record. Warriors at 8 with an 11-10 record. Suns at 7 with a 12-9 record. Timberwolves at 6 with an 11-8 record. Spurs at 5 with a 13-5 record. Nuggets at 4 with a 14-5 record. Rockets at 3 with a 12-4 record. Lakers at 2 with a 14-4 record. And at number 1, it's of course the Oklahoma City Thunder with a 19-1 record.
And now transitioning to the Eastern Conference. Number 15 sitting at the very bottom is the Wizards at 2-16. At 14, we got the Nets at 3-16. At 13, we got the Pacers at 4-16. 12 Hornets 6-14. 11 Bucks 9-12. 10 Bulls 9-10. 9 Celtics 10-9. 8 Sixers 10-8. 7 Magic 12-8. 6 Cavs 12-8. 5 Hawks 12-8. 4 Heat 13-7. 3 Knicks 12-6. At number 2, we got the Raptors at 14-6. And still sitting atop the Eastern Conference, we got the Pistons at 16-4. So those are the Eastern Conference standings. 5 weeks into the season now.
Yeah, we don't have to talk a lot about this, but I find it very interesting how like weeks ago we were talking about how the Wizards, Nets, and Pacers were the worst teams in the league with only one win. And thanks to a game winner from Pascal Siakam today, the Pacers have surpassed the Pelicans with more wins. They have 4 wins now, while the Pelicans have 3. So that just shows how bad the Pelicans are. Like they're down there for sure for one of the worst teams in the league.
Yeah, Pelicans have definitely been one of the more disappointing teams of the season, to say the least. Not really. I feel like we definitely expected them to be better. I don't know if we necessarily expected much out of them, even if they were healthy, but definitely bottom of the Western Conference is not necessarily what most people expected. So Um, yeah, Pelicans have been looking very disappointingly bad to start the season.
Yeah, for sure. The Thunder, though, they're not bad at all. They've been insanely good this season. I think it was reported earlier that they are on pace to win like 77 wins or something like that, like something crazy high. Um, yeah, Hoops. What do you think about this team? Like we talk about them every week in the W list because they can't lose. They lost once against the Trailblazers somehow, some way. They lost to the Trailblazers. They got their revenge, eventually, and like since then, like they all they've been doing is winning. 11 game win streak. It's insane what's going on over there.
Yeah, insane indeed. 19-1 record. Currently on an 11-game win streak. 4-0 in NBA Cup play. Now advancing to the Final Four. And the crazy part about it, they did all that without J-Dub, and he finally returned. So arguably the second best player on the best team returns to a team that was already 18-1 before he joined. So the rich only gets richer. I will say though, some other NBA Cup games were pretty competitive. Like they were a lot closer than you would expect for a team that has been blowing past everyone with ease. So um, yeah, that's interesting. But nonetheless, Thunder, per usual, looking like the best team in the league, and it's going to be tough to take them down.
Yeah, they're for sure on like a different level at the moment. It's like the Thunder and everybody else. It's not even close, which is scary as fans of a Western Conference team. You know, we want our Lakers to make it to the finals, but it's hard to imagine that with the Thunder being there and seeing them find so much success this early in the season. They did not skip a beat whatsoever. Their defense looks just as intense as it was in the finals. Um, Also, you know, they were able to rack up all these wins without J-Dub. They just added him to the lineup. He's played one game, looks rusty. I think he shot 25% from the field, which isn't good, but obviously he's coming back from injury. He'll be back to all-star form, I'm sure, in all defensive form as well. Like he's a great two-way player, which is what this team is filled with. Just amazing two-way players, including Shea. Shea is great on both ends, but obviously offensively he is on a different level. And you know, with a lot of these wins, like he only has to play for like 3 quarters, which is insane. That's like 2016 Curry level production right there. Just play through 3 quarters, have a good lead, and then don't even play the fourth. Like that's insane what they're doing over there in Oklahoma. And it's definitely a scary sight to see for the rest of the league.
Yeah, definitely. Scary sight indeed. And yeah, they're looking really good and definitely, as proven, was the only one loss so far. A tough outing for sure.
Oh yeah.
Um, but I think we can now move on to the second team on the W list, and that would be our Lakers, 14-4, currently sitting at second in the Western Conference, active 6-game win streak, 4-0 in the NBA Cup group play, and now advancing to the Final Four. This week, the 2 games in the NBA Cup were against the Clippers and the Mavericks, which I will admit both of them were probably closer than they should have been. But nonetheless, win's a win, so we'll take it. And so the Lakers will be playing against the Spurs in the first round of the knockout stages in the NBA Cup. So yeah, Lakers have been looking really good lately. As fans, we are definitely happy about that, and hopefully they can keep it going.
Yeah, just watching these Lakers wins, like I made sure to check out the game against the Clippers and the Mavs this week. I was excited for both games, and yeah, just seeing Luca, dude, Luca, just ball out. Austin Reeves ball out as well. Like if there was one thing was thankful for this year, it's that Nico, trade. You know, I'm thankful for Nico, aka Luca, to the Lakers, dude. That's what I'm thankful for this year for sure, because it's so fun watching the Lakers now. Like this is the most fun I've had watching the Lakers. Definitely since the 2020 title run, obviously. But like I feel like maybe this is a hot take, but this is he's probably Luka's my favorite Lakers since Kobe, I feel like. And he just got on the team. That's how much I've been loving Luka, like draining these crazy threes, going on heaters like every game. And it's not just him, obviously. You know, LeBron is coming back to form slowly but surely, putting up decent numbers. Austin Reeves, there was debates between Austin Reeves versus like a Brandon Podjemski or whatever his name is. Like that was the conversations he was in. There were people that were refusing to admit that he was the best third option in the league. He's probably up there with one of the best second options in the league now. Like that's how insane his offensive output has been this year. Um, I have the stat here because like the last 5 games from Austin Reeves has been insane. He had a 38-point game recently, then 31, 31, 26, 25. He's been amazing. Like the whole roster has been just filled with surprises. I remember bitching about DeAndre Ayton being on the team. He's been amazing. He's doing all the little things that I wanted him to do and more. Marcus Smart was a huge addition to the team. Jake LaRavia, I didn't even know who that guy was before he joined the Lakers. Now he's been killing it. So, yeah, like I'm so hyped about the Lakers right now, and yet I'm still afraid of like the playoffs and facing the Thunder because like again the Thunder are at a different level. But you know, at the moment, I'm hyped.
Yeah, and I share a lot of the same thoughts as you. Um, the statement about Luca being your favorite Laker since Kobe, honestly, I can't disagree. I mean, like LeBron, definitely up there, but Luca just brings like a whole nother level of excitement. Not gonna lie. The swagger his game has, draining those deep threes, um, low key underrated trash talk. Did you see what Chris Dunn did at the end of the Clippers
Oh
game?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
He was so pissed.
Yeah, Chris Dunn was definitely salty. Speaking of which, I don't know why Chris Dunn randomly pops off against the Lakers. Makes no sense, but
You know
at
what? I
least he
noticed
lost.
that too.
Yeah, because remember last year there was that one game he like went crazy also against the Lakers.
And he's not like an
Um,
offensive player. He's known for his defense. Yet he's still good against the Lakers somehow.
yeah. Well, unfortunately for him, they lost. So there's that. So he was probably still salty about that. Um, but
And
yeah,
then
that
Luca
was
was going psycho from the sidelines.
yeah, definitely. But yeah, that was a fun game to watch for sure, especially that it was a win against the Clippers. Um, Unfortunately, I missed the Mavs game because I was busy last night, but based on what I heard, sounded like a fun one. Um, and yeah, I think that obviously this team does have room for improvement still, but so far looking really good. And regarding the I guess Austin Reeves versus Pods one. That one was like always really funny. Warriors fans typically being delusional and trying to claim theirs is the best. Like, get out of here. Yeah. I will say, hopefully this time could be the time where Austin will be able to um, maintain the good play in the regular season and continue to do it in the playoffs. Because obviously last year he was disappointing in the playoffs. Hopefully not the case this year. But so far, I like what I've been seeing from the team. Let's continue to get better.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope so. Let's move on to the next team, which is the New York Knicks.
Yeah. So the Knicks are now 12-6, climbing up to the third seed in the Eastern Conference. They are actively on a 3-game win streak, and they also have advanced to the Final Four of the NBA Cup. They will be playing against the Raptors on Tuesday, December 9th, and that would be the 2 versus 3 matchup, I believe. Yeah. So yeah, that should be a good one. They played each other. Actually, my correction, they didn't. But yeah, I was gonna say they played each other in the group play, but no, they were not in the same group. So slight mistake there. But yeah, the Knicks have been doing really good, looking more like the team that we expected them to be. I would say still quite not. Like they have room to get better, but yeah, they've been at least looking closer to the team that we expected in the offseason.
Yeah, like this team has been kind of surprising. You know, we thought they were shoe in for one of the top two seeds, and right now, what was it? The Pistons and the
Oh,
Raptors are up there as the top two in the East, um, which is all very um, surprising for sure. I believe Brunson was out for a bit, right? He recently returned. Got hit in the noggin recently. It was like his giant forehead blocked a shot from LaMelo Ball. It was a shot. It was a pass, but still, that was funny. But yeah, the Knicks have been able to win these last three games. Obviously, you just mentioned they're in the uh, NBA Cup tournament now. They'll face the Raptors. That'll be a good game to watch. That'll be very interesting to see for both teams. Like I feel like these two teams still have a lot to prove at the moment, and we'll see like which one's actually like a top dog in the East based off of that game. So I'm very excited to watch that one for sure. But yeah, the Knicks are
definitely.
killing it at the moment. Um, let's see if they keep it up.
Yeah, we shall see indeed. Um, yeah, and I think we can move on to the next team on the W list, which is the Spurs. They currently sit at 13-5, having won 7 of their last 10. And quite impressive last night. They were able to beat the Nuggets in Denver without Wemby and Stephon Castle. And they also advanced to the Final Four of the NBA Cup. They will be playing the Lakers in LA on Wednesday, December 10th, and that should be a good one for sure. So look forward to it.
Yeah, and they were, you know, you just mentioned they were able to do this without Wemby and Castle. That's given De'Aaron Fox a lot of leeway to take charge, and he's been killing it as of late, leading the Spurs. The Spurs just seem like they finally have like a good roster. You know, they finally have a decent team surrounding Wemby. So even though he is out and will be out for I don't know how long, uh, they can still rack up wins and still be in playoff contention. Contention, is that the word? I don't know. They'll still
Yeah.
be in the race for the playoffs even with Wemby out. Now that they have an all-star caliber point guard with De'Aaron Fox leading the way with Wemby's absence. So yeah, shout out to Fox. Shout out to the Spurs. But I do hope they lose on December 10th. That's for sure.
Yeah, definitely. And I will say, for Lakers' sake, it was definitely more favorable that they got a matchup against the Spurs and against the Nuggets in the knockout
Oh
round
yeah,
for sure.
because
Easily.
Jokic always finds a way to win against the Lakers. Jamal Murray always
Yeah.
goes off and makes a game winner, even if he's like
Yeah.
shooting poorly.
So I'm glad that we got the matchup we wanted here, but by no means am I saying that's going to be an easy matchup. So it's definitely going to be a good, fun, entertaining matchup. Um, Vintage Western Conference rival teams back at it. It's going to be fun. Um, but I think we can move on to the next team on the W list now, which is the Raptors, second seed in the Eastern Conference. They were been on a tear, 14-6 record. Um, I will say one of the things that almost like one of the things that had me hesitant about whether or not to actually include them on the W list is the fact that they just lost against the Hornets of all teams. Not a good game at all. But before that, they were looking amazing. 9-game win streak. Honestly, under the radar, sneaky 9-game win streak because like no one seemed to really talk about it. Like rap a team is on a 9-game win streak and they go unnoticed. That's definitely a bit crazy. But Brandon Ingram has been looking very impressive. He's been playing like an all-star. And Scotty Barnes has been playing very impressive as well, looking like a defensive player of the year candidate. And yeah, a little bit of a slip up there yesterday. Earlier today against the Hornets, a game that they should have won, but they ended up losing in overtime. Not good. But aside from that, they have been looking really good and still shocking people, second in the Eastern Conference. So let's see how long they can keep it going.
Yeah, like I remember how rough the beginning of the season was for this team. They were looking like one of the worst teams in the league, and then somehow they like
Yeah.
snapped out of it. And as you mentioned, they had a 9-game winning streak, almost reached a 10, and then Mr. Knipple hit a game tying three, led to an overtime victory for the Hornets, which is unfortunate. I would say the Raptors didn't play like a lot of impressive teams. They beat the Nets, Pacers. The most impressive team they were able to beat were probably the Cavs. The Cavs have been injured, and they've had their own issues with like Evan Mobley not looking the best at the moment. But still impressive win, I would say. But again,
Yeah.
like this is why I'm saying like I'm excited to watch the Raptors and Knicks go against each other in the cup to see if like this is for real. If this is like an actual improvement with the team, and are they like actual like playoff contenders, or are they like the Bulls from earlier this year where like they're looking hot, they're looking impressive, but then fell off hard. So we'll see what will be the case, but at the moment, I'm excited seeing this team do well. It's like such a random ass like group of players, like Barnes, Ingram, quickly RJ Barrett, like a Pirtle. Like this is such a random group, and they're currently second in the East. So it's cool that this is big. This is going on right now.
Yeah, definitely. Raptors have been definitely shocking the league, catching by storm. So far, so good. Now we shall see how long they can sustain it. And that game against the Knicks will definitely be a good watch for sure.
Yeah. Those are all the teams that we were going to talk about in the W list, but I feel like we got to talk about this next player in the W list, which is Chris Paul, because he is officially retiring. So I do want to, send my congratulations to Chris Paul and, his legendary career. Played for multiple teams, multiple time All Star. Will probably go down as like one of the best players to never win MVP or chip. Um, which like saying that sounds like a diss, and like I'm not the biggest Chris Paul fan, but like I do want to show my respect because he is one of the best point guards in NBA history. Like I don't know where you'd put him on the list. I remember this summer we were calling him like super overrated. The top 100 list that we went through. I think ESPN curated it. We both felt like he was way too high on the list. But still, he is a legendary player, known for his Hornets days, his Lob City days with the Clippers. Went to the finals with the Suns. Almost went to the finals with the Rockets as well. Going toe to toe with the 73 win Warriors. He's had an amazing, impressive career. He deserves his flowers. I think it's really cool that he announced his retirement right before his final game against the Hornets, so that like the Hornets fans can show up for him, his family can show up for him, and stuff like that. So yeah, shout out to Chris Paul for a legendary Hall of Fame career. Um, he will go down as CP0 rings, but a shout out to the Hall of Famer, the future Hall of Famer.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah, I mean, I'm not necessarily the hugest Chris Paul fan either. But I will not talk about all that stuff today because I think his career is definitely worth celebrating for sure. I mean, probably at least top five, arguably top three point guard of all time. Um, Depending on how you want to rank them. I would say, I mean, I don't have no like official list off the top directly right now, but I would say maybe more so top five, which is still really good. Um, but yeah, definitely has been like very successful career for him outside of the rings, obviously. And um most of the teams that he's joined, he has made a lot better. Obviously, we know the Hornets when he was with them, they would make the playoffs majority of the time, even if not all the time. Clippers were a laughing stock of a league for a long time, and then once he arrives, they finally make the playoffs. Every year he was there. Um, Obviously, didn't win anything, but at least he made that team like watchable and fun to watch for many out there. Um, and then went to the Rockets. Obviously, almost took down the Warriors super team, but he got injured in Game 7, and then the Rockets ended up missing 27 threes, and it just wasn't meant to be, but very close. Um, and then obviously, then when he got traded to OKC for Westbrook, that team was expected to be tanking then and there, and he took them to the playoffs as a six seed or something like that. It was actually a really unexpected playoff appearance, so that was worth congratulating for sure. And obviously, it was the Suns making the finals, just falling short, got pretty close there. And yeah, he's definitely had a very successful career, and I think that definitely time was calling for him to retire, but had a pretty successful career overall, aside from the rings. But yeah, um, he his impact on the league historically is undeniable.
Oh yeah, for sure. He is definitely up there as one of the greatest point guards ever. I don't know where I'd place him. Like for sure, Magic and Steph are better.
Yeah, those are
Yeah,
locks.
those are the locks. Um, let's see. Like, there's a lot of great point guards that I feel like
Yeah,
are around the same level as Chris Paul. His
I
resume
agree.
hurts him though. Like,
Yeah,
I feel like he's a better point guard than John Stockton, but
yeah,
he's got the records over Chris Paul, like the most
that's true.
steals, the most assists. Um, I feel like Chris Paul was a better player than like I don't know. Like there's so many point guards out there, like
Yeah,
Jason
I was
Kidd,
gonna say
Nash,
there's
Westbrook, Big O, Isaiah Thomas. It's hard to place him in the.
it is.
Yeah, it's actually
I
tough.
It is, yeah. And I was gonna say like a lot of those top tier elite point guards do have like similar traits of not winning a championship ring. Like for example, Chris Paul, Steve Nash, Russ, at least so far, Stockton, and so forth. So those are also things that either like put them on an equal tier for criteria wise, or you could argue then they have to look elsewhere accolades wise. But yeah, it's a little bit tricky for sure between like some of those guys there. but definitely easily, Magic and Steph are the locks 1 and 2.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, shout out to Chris Paul for an amazing career, and I guess his retirement tour has begun. So if you've never seen him play, or you want to see him play, if he plays, uh, go watch a Clippers game. Which is, sounds like torture, but
Yeah,
if you want to see him,
it
go
is.
see him.
Especially this team
This team
currently
specifically, this old ass team.
5 and 14.
Shout out James
Um,
Harden though, he's been killing it.
yeah. Yeah, but I will say, like, if you do want to go to a Clippers game to watch Chris Paul, I will pray for you because he might not get a lot of playing time.
You might have to watch him on the bench the whole time.
Watch him on the bench. Yeah. Like, you can pay to sit courtside to hopefully get to have a short, brief conversation with him, which will not guarantee anything because he might not even look towards your direction.
Yeah,
Uh,
I heard
so yeah,
someone
it's tricky.
I heard someone say that the reason why he announced that he was gonna retire against like right before the Hornets was so he could get some playing time because like
Hey, that might be it.
that might be it.
Did he end up playing like a good
Yeah,
amount
he
of
got some
minutes?
minutes against the Hornets,
Yeah,
so he could get his like little ovation and stuff.
yeah. Well, was he able to at least put up some stats, or
I
he
don't
didn't
know.
do too much?
I don't think
Yeah,
so. I do think.
yeah.
I think he played against the Lakers recently too.
He
I'm pretty
did. Yeah.
sure.
I think he just scored like one basket, 2 points. I remember I was just over there thinking, "Damn, we really let Chris Paul score a basket." Yeah, we'll let him have his moment. We won that game anyway. Um, but yeah, shout out to Chris Paul and his very good career.
Yeah. Shout out to him. I do have one more winner in the W list. If we don't really have to talk about this, I just thought this was kind of random. CJ McCollum went off, made 10 threes, totaled 46 points, and snapped the Wizards' losing streak against the Hawks. So, shout out to CJ for carrying the team to a win, which was well needed. They had like a 13-game losing streak, so it took 10 threes from CJ and him scoring 46 points, but they got a win. So shout out to CJ.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, that was crazy. That the more so embarrassing for the Hawks that they lost against the Wizards, but not only did they lose against them, they got destroyed by 21 points.
That's
Speaking
insane.
of which, oh, yeah, that's sad. But like, remember a year ago when the Hawks were like the weirdest team in the league? They would lose against trash teams like the Wizards, but then they would beat the Celtics multiple times and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Now, I don't even know if they really beat any elite teams this year. Probably not. Maybe some good teams. Um, but once again, they lose against the Wizards. Like, what is this? I know Trey is out, but still, not a good look. But yeah, shout out to CJ and the Wizards for finally winning a game.
Yeah, shout out. But that's all the shout outs we're doing. That's everything in the W list. Now let's jump
Yeah.
into the L list. And we're going to start off with John Morant once again. I don't think we talked about him last week, but we've talked about him in the L list before. And I think this is well deserved after the little beef he had with Klay Thompson last week. So Klay, first of all, was like heated throughout like the entire game. There was this dirty play from Santi Aldama where he grabbed Cooper Flag's foot when he was like sitting on the floor and Cooper was walking like beside him. So he kind of deserves to be on this L list too for like grabbing his foot for no reason. Klay had some words for him, was pretty mad, standing up for his rookie. So he was already in a bad mood, and obviously, like we all know the backstory of him wanting to play with Luka in the Mavs. Luka got traded, so now Klay is playing for a losing team, which is not what he wanted. He wanted to ring chase with Luca. That's why he didn't join the Lakers, but now Luca's with the Lakers. So, like, it's been horrible, a horrible year for Klay Thompson, except for the fact that he's with Megan Thee Stallion. Like,
I was gonna
W.
say, yeah,
Like,
yeah,
damn, like
massive W.
the massive W there. Um,
Yeah,
so Clay has been angry, and going against the Grizzlies did not help. Seeing Santi Aldama be dirty does not help, and definitely John Morant going at Clay after the game was not gonna help that at all. John Morant, for some reason, was like calling him a bum, putting his finger right at Klay Thompson's face. Klay like swiped his hand, was getting very heated. And I'm not a Klay Thompson fan, but I am definitely on his side here because what are you doing? First of all, John Morant did not play in this game. He was once again is sitting out because that's all he knows how to do at this point. Like the man was known as being one of the most exciting, high flying all stars in the league. There was talks about him maybe being the face of the league, and now all he does is pretends to play with guns and sit out. Like that's all he does, and that's kind of what Klay Thompson was talking about during, like the interview in the locker room. I don't think that's considered a press conference, but he was interviewed about that situation, and he was talking about how, there was nothing of intelligent depth, which I thought was a very mature way of saying that Ja was being stupid, like talking stupid. And he was pretty mature, just talking about how disappointed he is in Ja, and how Ja would never be on the floor. He would rather have Ja talking shit on the floor during the game, but instead he's always in these different situations, in these shenanigans, off the court, causing him to not play. He's supposed to be out there playing, but he's either injured or just trying to come up with a new weapon selling. That's all he does at this point. So, um, like Clay went in and tore him a new one. Honestly, yeah. Again, I'm not a Klay Thompson fan. Overrated Kyle Korver, if you ask me. But yeah, he was right on this one. Like John Morant has done nothing in the league and literally did nothing against the Mavs. Like he was in street clothes and was still talking shit. Like that's lame. That's lame. So that is why he is in the L list for being a loser.
yeah, and very much severely so. I don't know why he felt the need to do that, just because of Clay's stepping off for his rook in a play that he should have done so because Santi Aldama did a dirty ass move that he shouldn't have. I don't get why Ja had to feel the need to get mad about that when his own teammate was in the wrong, clearly. So yeah, that was dumb. Saying that Pat Spencer is a better shooting than him is definitely a joke in itself. Um, and yeah, I did want to circle back really quickly on when you were saying that it's been a tough year for Clay aside from dating Megan Thee Stallion. Um, do you remember there was this one podcast during the summer when Shaq said that he thought that Clay and Megan would only last for like 3 weeks and then they would be done. But here we are, like months later, still going strong.
They're going strong. They're not the only NBA player rapper relationship. I don't know if you heard. Brandon Ingram is with Glorilla.
Oh yeah.
I didn't see
Um,
that coming.
I didn't see it coming either. I did see that she was at the Raptors game and celebrating like crazy. In the beginning, I was confused why she was at the Raptors game, and then I remembered, oh shit, that's why because her man was playing and he made the game-winning shot. All makes sense. And yeah, I didn't expect that either, honestly.
Shout out Glorilla. I like her music.
Yeah, me too.
uh, but yeah, I don't know if there's anything else you want to say here, or should we move on? Um,
Um, I think not too much, and we covered the Morant beyond the Ellis pretty well in depth. So maybe we can move on to the next team,
all right, go
or
for it.
shall I say, first team of the L list, and that would be a team that has been on the L list for several weeks straight, the LA Clippers. 5-14 record. Um, Kawhi returned last Sunday against the Cavs, and the team is still losing. They have lost the last 3 games, all with Kawhi back in the lineup. Active 3-game losing streak. And during it, they lost 2 NBA Cup games. One of them was, as previously mentioned, the loss to the Lakers, and the other was last night choking at home to the Grizzlies, which is obviously really bad because we all know the Grizzlies are having a down year as well. No John Morant, and that's the game they should be winning, especially at home, and they found a way to lose. So that was not good. And so the Clippers are now currently sitting at 12th in the Western Conference. And yeah, I would say definitely worthy of being on the L list for that alone. And we'll see if things get better for them. But even if it does get better, I wouldn't expect much better.
Yeah, it's the roster construction that's killing them, which is very funny because I thought this roster was gonna be solid. I thought this was gonna be a great team. Um, but yeah, the old men are being old. They're either injured or slow as hell. Um, James Harden is trying his damn hardest to make sure that they get as much wins as possible so that their number one pick, if they get the number one pick for being the worst team in the league, doesn't go to OKC, which is a possibility, which would be terrifying. I believe this next upcoming draft is going to be a good one as well. Like, I don't know who's in it, but that's what I've heard. Um, Imagine that happens. Imagine the Clippers suck so bad, and not only do they like suck, but they don't even get their first round pick. That might be like a number one pick because of how bad they played, and that number one pick might go to OKC. That's crazy. That's
That is, yeah,
that sounds like
that's
a nightmare.
insane.
Yeah,
It is. It sounds like a nightmare. That's insane, and that's only another reason to hate the Clippers more if it
yeah.
happens.
Like, I know we say the Luca and AD trade is the worst trade in NBA history, but that Paul George trade, dude, like this is
So
still like from the Paul George trade. Like this is all because of this trade. OKC got fucking the MVP in the league, drafted Jada with the Clippers pick, I believe. I don't know if Chet was involved either. I don't know if his draft pick was from the Clippers or not. I don't think
I don't
so.
know if it was the. I think the Chet pick might have been OKC's
I
own
I
because I
think you're
remember
right.
they were actually bad the previous year,
Yeah.
like the rebuild.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but they for sure got Jada because of that trade
yeah,
as well. The second best player on the team.
yeah.
They they might get a high first round draft pick this year because of Paul
Crazy.
George.
I know. And I still think it's funny how people would still try to defend the Clippers for that trade, saying, "Oh, that was their only way of also getting Kawhi, so Kawhi doesn't sign with the Lakers." Okay, but like looking in hindsight, do you still not see how that was a bad trade? I mean, you even if you did get Kawhi, you haven't won anything. Um, and haven't done anything with it. And then on top of that, I think that OKC winning the championship only put the cherry on the cake on at this point. Like we all had an idea OKC won that trade even before they won it. Now that they actually won the championship, it's literally like no debate whatsoever. So like I don't get why some people would still try to defend the Clippers for making that move.
Yeah, it ended up being horrible. It might be horrible for the league in general if they
Yeah.
get a number one pick next year.
Oh my
Oh my
gosh.
god, that'd be terrible.
Yeah, we would just need to hope for the unexpected, and that being that OKC would just randomly choke in the playoffs against a team that we don't expect them to.
Yeah,
Yeah. But yeah, Clippers definitely on the L list for more reasons than one. And I think we can now move on to the next team on the L list, which would be the Bucks, who now sit at 9-12. They lost 8 of their last 10 games, and by doing so, they dropped all the way to the 11th in the West in the Eastern Conference, which is outside of the play-in tournament. However, the good news is that Giannis was finally able to return to the lineup against the Knicks on Friday, a game that they did lose, but at least they're able to get Giannis back, and hopefully they can start winning games again with his hard carrying, I'd assume. Um, but yeah, things in Milwaukee haven't been looking very good. Hopefully it gets better now that Giannis is back.
yeah. For the Bucks' sake, like hopefully it gets better because Giannis doesn't like losing. I think he made a comment, like recently talking about like he's never lost 7 games in a row before. Like he's not used to this amount of losing. So, an angry Giannis is not a fun Giannis, right? Like it wouldn't be surprising if he asks for a trade if this keeps up, or if something is like try to get out of Milwaukee if things do not get better. So, for the Bucks' sake, I hope they start winning some games.
Yeah, me too, for sure. Um, but yeah, shall we move on to the next team, which stays in the Eastern Conference?
You go for it.
Okay, and that would be the Bulls, that one team that we've mentioned time and time again, um, had a hot start and recently started to look more like the team we expected in the offseason. Bulls are currently on a 3-game losing streak, and they have lost 7 of their last 10, and they are now below 500 and shockingly still in the play-in picture at the moment, but I assume it will not last long if they don't miraculously go back to the form they were when they started the year 5-0 or whatever it was.
Yeah, so I don't even know what to say about the Bulls anymore. Like they just keep losing. It sucks. Like they had such a hot start, and to see them lose so much is it shouldn't be shocking, but it's shocking. It definitely is, and it's getting, you know, the vibes are being killed for sure. Like I don't know if you saw, recently. I think this was after a win actually. The interview right after the game with Nikola Vucevic. His teammates were super hyped that they got the win, but he was pissed because like it shouldn't be that close of a win. Like they should have won the game easily, but like his younger teammates were like excited that they got the win, and Vucci just looked like a disappointed dad out there, just like bummed that like all the younger teammates do not get his frustration. Like he was genuinely pissed off at like I think his name is like Jalen Smith, something like that. Um, I think it was
Huh.
him. That was like trying to cheer him up, and he was like not having it. He was so pissed. Um, like the vibes are being ruined because of how disappointing this team is, and like I guess the lack of seriousness, I guess, for a lack of words, that this team has. Like some of the Bulls, you know, don't want it as much as like Vucevic does, I guess. At least that's what it seemed like off of that interview. So yeah, again, like what you said is very surprising. They're still in the play-in race, but it's the Bulls. They're like that's their thing. They're always in the play-in
Yeah.
race.
It's
So
it's funny because like even though they haven't been very good for the last like however many years, they somehow still always remain in the play-in tournament. Um, yeah, which is funny. We'll see if that streak continues this year or not, but not necessarily getting hopes up.
yeah, for sure. But yeah, that's it for our L list. There was something I kind of wanted to mention, but it's not a big deal. We could move on to something that we're both pretty excited to do. As we mentioned earlier, we haven't been talking a lot about the NBA Cup. Our bad. I don't know why we didn't make like our predictions and didn't go over the Cup standings or whatever. But the I guess Group A stage of the first stage of the NBA Cup is over. The group stages is all done. We know the teams that will be in the tournament that will play for a championship in Vegas. And in the West, in the quarterfinals, the OKC Thunder are facing the Phoenix Suns. The Los Angeles Lakers will be facing the Spurs. In the East, we got the Magic facing the Heat, the battle between the Florida teams. And we also got the Raptors versus the Knicks. And since we have the 8 teams solidified here, we thought it'd be a great idea to draft our teams, draft the teams we believe will be winning it all. In order to avoid a punishment, we've been talking about how we want to incorporate these punishments more and more, like what we did for the finals, where I thought the Pacers were going to win the finals, Hoops thought the Thunder were going to win the finals. I ended up losing. That's why you see that ranch dressing soda bottle right there. I had to drink that for an entire episode because I ended up losing the wager. We're going to be doing something similar. So if our team wins, we avoid the punishment. If your team loses, you have to do the punishment. Now, the punishment we have not talked about yet, but I did, go on ChatGPT to look up some ideas. And obviously, the games are in Vegas, so I thought it'd be a fun idea to make like the punishment like Vegas based. And there was some like decent ideas from ChatGPT, which I wasn't expecting. Like this one's I feel like is a little silly. Maybe we could like rework this one, but it's called the dealer shuffle. The person who lost has to shuffle cards the entire time, and if they drop any cards, they have to like the ChatGPT says compliment the host, the other person. We could change that if we want to. What I really liked here, I want to see if you like this idea. Obviously, one of the biggest celebrities that's known in Vegas is Elvis Presley. So I thought it'd be a funny idea if we get an Elvis wig and the loser has to wear the Elvis wig for an entire episode.
Honestly,
you like that one?
I think that'll be funny.
You're down? Okay, we could do that one
Yeah,
then. All right.
let's do that one. Um, I guess because we already decided we want to do that, any other ideas that ChatGPT gave you, we can potentially save for the next wager then?
Yeah, well, these are like Vegas themed, so maybe
Oh,
it
okay.
won't like work for other wagers, but we could come
Yeah.
back to
Maybe
this like
next year's
next year.
NBA Cup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Money's not up for me right now, but hopefully
Yeah.
maybe eventually we could go to Vegas for like one of these cup tournaments and like
Yeah.
do a
Hopefully
punishment
one
there.
day.
Like you're
That would
forced.
be fun.
uh
Especially if the Lakers were in it again. That would
yeah,
be for sure a fun watch.
that would be
Um
fun.
But yeah, that would be a goal of ours when money financially gets a little bit better. For now, we will come up with these fun bets.
Yeah, I'm in grad school right now, so money's super tight, but it should be better next year, hopefully.
Definitely. But yeah, I guess Memo, would you like to explain the rules to our NBA Cup draft?
So yeah, we're just simply gonna flip a coin that I do not have at the moment. I think I have one in my wallet right now. Oh, I feel it. Um, and yeah, so determined by this coin flip will determine who will pick the team first. And yeah, we'll both have four teams each, and we'll just see which one of those teams make it to the finals and which one will actually win the whole cup. And yeah, if your team doesn't win, you gotta wear an Elvis Presley wig for an entire episode. Easy, sounds good.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right, I'll let you choose. We've got heads or tails.
All right. I'm gonna go tails.
Tails. Okay, I'm gonna change it to my cam. And I'll try to make sure it lands on my palm so that like it's all fair and stuff. But yeah, we'll
Mhm.
flip. All right, I think that was on camera. I'm not moving. I'm not cheating, but it does look like that's a tails, right? That's tails.
I think it is tails.
So you get
Um,
to pick first. So
okay.
again,
Um,
quick reminder:
tails
the
tails never fails worked.
the teams that are available are the Thunder, Suns, Lakers, Spurs, Magic, Heat, Raptors, Knicks. So out of those 8 teams, which one are you picking first?
Um, I think with my first pick, I'm going to have to pick the Thunder, who have been looking like the best team in the league so far.
All right, that was the obvious pick. Uh, so yeah, I'm sure they probably will win it. But we'll see. We'll see. I thought they were gonna
Uh,
win it last year, and it was the Bucks.
exactly. No guarantee.
There's no guarantee. It's one game. So if they lose, bad shooting night from Shea, they could be bounced in the first round. We'll see. Um,
That's true.
I for my first pick, I'm gonna go with the homer pick. I'm gonna go with the Lakers, even though
Okay.
they are on the same side as the Thunder, so there's a good chance they might not even make it to the championship round. I've got to root for them. I got to root for two total cup chips.
Okay. Not a bad pick was what's available. I think personally that is the second best option. Um, that being said, for my second pick, I think I will go with, let's see. So I think one of the things to also consider is where these games are being played.
Yeah, because the quarterfinals are gonna be
Still
based
at
on
Yeah, quarterfinals is still at like the higher seed stadium,
yeah.
but it's not until the semifinals and championship that's in Vegas. Um, that being said, honestly, I think I might go with the Magic was my second pick.
Match. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I know, might be a little bold, but considering certain factors.
All right. That's interesting. I'm definitely thinking about an Eastern Conference team as well. I wasn't gonna go with Magic. I'm between two. But you say Magic is throwing me off a little bit. But fuck it, we ball. I'm gonna go with the Heat. I'm gonna go with the Heat. They got Tyler Hero back. Norman Powell's looking like an all star. Their offense is insane. Um. So yeah, I'll go with the Heat here.
Okay, so there goes a direct head to head we have. I chose Magic, you chose Heat. One of them will be out early, and one of them will be keep on going. So that makes it fun. Um, all right. So with my third pick, let's see. With my third pick, I think I will go with the Knicks.
Okay. The Knicks. And you know what? I'm gonna continue with the head to head because I was looking at the Raptors. I was thinking about the Raptors and the Heat the round before. So yeah, that might be a risky move, but I'll take the Raptors.
All right. So Eastern Conference teams have been taken, and that leaves us with two Western Conference teams. That being the Spurs and the Suns. I think I'm gonna have to go with the Spurs.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Which leaves me with the Suns. So we have head to head matchups for every round, which
Interesting for sure.
interesting turn out kind of well, I guess. Like
Yeah,
it
kind of
would
did.
suck if like all your teams win and then like all mine are bounced. The,
Oh,
the
yeah.
the
I don't
suspense would be over, but
yeah,
it
I
would be
don't think
funny as
we
well.
want yeah, I don't think we want that per se. It would be more interesting if some of both of our teams keep going and then it goes down to the wire. Like,
Yeah,
I think it would be really cool if one of my teams plays against one of your teams in the championship game so that everything is actually on the line as the game is on the line.
that would be the
Uh,
best outcome for sure.
Definitely. Because like if all of one of our teams are like out the first round, then it's low key not even fun anymore the rest of the way. I mean, it still makes it fun because we pick based on who we think are better, but definitely would be better if we go down to the wire for sure.
Oh yeah. Unfortunately, we do have to wait quite a bit. The first
Yeah,
uh games are on December 10th. No, December 9th. 9th or
ninth. Yeah.
yeah, the
So
Eastern Conference
East,
teams.
yeah, Eastern Conference is on December 9th and Western Conference is on December 10th. Um, I low key kind of don't remember too much about how they had like a 1.5 week gap between like group play and the knockout stages. But I guess what they're doing maybe is to allow teams to play some regular games before they try to get more like locked in for these games.
I think it's a travel thing uh like consumer wise to give people time to like schedule like
Mm, that makes sense.
time off and be able to travel so it's not so last minute.
Yeah, that's true. Also for like the other teams that don't qualify, obviously, because I believe the last 3 years, ever since they introduced the NBA Cup, NBA only schedules 80 out of the 82 games for every team, and then the remaining two games are either for if they advance to the knockout stages, or the teams that don't advance, they randomly pick two opponents for those teams. So that makes sense also to like allow fans to have time if they want to go to those games, um, sell the tickets, fill up the capacity, and then have them um, be in effect, I guess is the way to say it. But yeah, I think this should be fun. We have some good matchups for sure. Um, I think most of these teams have played each other at least once earlier this season. Like I know obviously Lakers and Spurs had a pretty good game earlier this year. OKC and Suns literally played an NBA Cup game yesterday in OKC, which was pretty close actually. OKC barely won. Um, Magic and the Heat played, I believe, their season opener against each other. I don't really remember about Knicks and Raptors, but they do happen to be in the same division, so I would be shocked if they haven't played at least one of the four games yet. But it's possible. But nonetheless, these matchups, at least on paper, should be really good ones. Hopefully, they did not disappoint.
Yeah. And yeah, we'll see the outcomes of not only the NBA Cup, but our little wager. I'm very excited to see how that turns out and who will end up wearing that Elvis Presley wig. That'll be a fun episode for sure. But yeah, I think we are done here. There we go.
Yeah. Um, yeah. And just want to say, per usual, thanks to all viewers for the constant support for our channel. We greatly appreciate it. If you like our content, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share, follow us on all platforms. And as the season goes by, per usual, we keep our weekly recaps and we are going to add more fun twists like we did today with wagers. So stay tuned for that as well. And yeah, um, have hope you guys have a great rest of your week and evening or day whenever you're watching.
Yeah, we'll see y'all next week. Goodbye.